Howdy folks, Nathan coming at you from Southern California, and this is the Slate truck. It's a pickup truck. It could be a 5-passenger SUV. It could be a lot of different things, and that's part of the cool part. It's all electric. It's also very affordable. At around $27,000 before rebates and whatnot, it is a really affordable rear drive pickup truck that has either 150 or around 240 miles of range. And in this video, we're going to interview a few people who are directly involved with this truck, and also we're going to talk about some of the numbers. So stay tuned for that. All right, let's talk about the basics. You are looking at an all-electric vehicle, and this one currently is set up like an SUV. Now, it does have a 52.7 kilowatt hour battery capable of about 150 miles, and you can get the accessory battery, which has 84.3 kilowatt hours of juice inside. It's all good. And this one does have some other accessory upgrades to it as well. That's including the tires, wheels, yes, and even you can lift up the suspension or drop it. There's more. The front end does have a frunk, and I am now standing in the middle of the CEO's picture, which is kind of awesome. So you're going to get the other side of it. In fact, let's go back. You can see the back of the heads of the CEOs. That's how I roll. A couple other things that you should probably know. Now, if you charge this, it has 120 kilowatt hour DC fast charging capability, NACS charging. They will have a CCS adapter that will be available in the near future. Also, you have, if you're using the level 1 charging, you can go from 20 to 100% in 11 hours, they say. Level 2 charging from 20 to 100% in 5 hours. And you can go from 20 to 80% on DC fast charging in about a half an hour. That's what they say. They don't say which battery that's with, but I'm guessing it's probably with the smaller battery. An important point back here is that this is all coil suspension. There are no leaf springs, even though it is a pickup truck. Also, you have a DD-on rear end, and that is where the electric motor also resides, which puts out 150 kilowatts, which translates to 201 horsepower and 195 pound-feet of torque. Single-speed transmission. Obviously, it's an electric motor. The question, of course, is whether or not you want an all-wheel drive vehicle, and if you do, there are other places to shop, because right now, you can have any type of setup you want as long as it's rear. All right, guys, I'm here with CJ, and he is product, components,
I am head of the accessories group here at Slate.
That's really cool, because that's what this vehicle is really all about. One of the things that we're going to talk about here is the fact that this vehicle is built for accessories. That's really its mandate, to be utilitarian and to have lots and lots of accessories. So let's talk about what that means for this truck.
Yeah, absolutely. So you guys by now have seen the blank slate. What we want to do tonight was showcase in just under an hour what we could do to it. So we went from a 2-door truck to a 5-seat SUV, still 2 doors. We've got our 17-inch all-terrain style wheels here. Got a little bit more of aggressive tire tread, so you can look really cool here in the mall. It's not going to be your king of the hammers truck, but hey, it looks cool while you're out there getting around town. We've got wheel flares here. You can't ignore the beautiful blue wrap that we did as you walk around.
Now, this started as a gray vehicle on stage. You guys rolled it out here, and within an hour, less than an hour, with a crew, you guys were able to put this on and all these accessories that we're looking at.
That's exactly right. So we wanted to showcase as well, we've got our roof rack ecosystem up here. So while it might not be the big off-roader that everybody looks at right now, we're not chasing that spec. We're chasing for radical affordability, radical personalization, and hey, part of personalization is utility. So we've got a whole roof rack ecosystem here that transforms with your truck. You can actually go from a truck cab version all the way to a full SUV version with just a couple different twists of the wrench in your driveway in a matter of minutes.
Okay, so now obviously you're not going to be able to tell me price, at least on the components. Not yet, I would imagine pretty soon. But we're starting with a vehicle that runs around $27,000, give or take, before federal rebates.
Then we get the rebate,
stuff, right? And then you can go up to 100 items. Is that it roughly on the parts catalog?
Yeah, so we're shooting at over 100 items at launch. We don't want to be cute with colors and all that, so that's a legit 100. We've got wheels, we've got wraps, we've got roof racks, we've got audio, we've got trim kits. We talked about the interior like clothes for your car.
Right.
Instead of doing a whole cold weather package, we're enabling people to do exactly what they want. So if you want those heated seats, we're going to give you a heated seat cover that zip on and off, by the way.
Oh.
It's not a whole new seat.
Okay, so you put the seat cover on there, it has the element in there, and you can plug it in, and boom, you got a heated seat.
Boom, you got a heated seat.
Very cool. Let's talk about the back of this, because one of the things that people don't quite see is that this is something that was a pickup truck, and then boom, you put this on here, and suddenly 5-seat vehicle because you put seats in there too.
Exactly. So we don't want people throwing away stuff wherever we can avoid that. It also makes the cost of the kit lower. So you're absolutely correct. We take the rear aperture of the cab, move it back, add a couple panels. We've got the seats in there, airbags in the structure. It's good to go.
And there's a real roll cage in there that you guys put in too, right?
Yeah. To make it, we don't want to compromise on safety. So we put together a really great DIY. Follow the steps. You install your roll cage. You install your seats. Everything is all pre-installed for the safety systems, like your airbags, to make sure that it's safe once you do get it installed.
Gotcha. And it looks like you have an extra lighting element here, so you have your third light, brake light up here integrated. Is it okay if we open this?
Yeah.
I saw someone open it earlier, but I don't want to touch anything because I break things.
I'm certified to open this one.
See, I figured you would be. Okay, so this is a standard tailgate, right? You just didn't replace this. This is basically the bottom of the pickup truck. But what you guys managed to do was put this in here, all of this bolting down, and the seats.
Yeah.
And all this within an hour, it all came in here.
Exactly. And what's really cool about this one to point out, it is still a pre-production prototype as well. So the fact that we're this far along at this stage in the game, crash testing, we're doing all of the safety validation, all the reg validation. So what you see, a little bit of scuffs and nicks and tool bits still sitting there. Hey, it's pre-prod, and this is where we are right now.
Yeah, if you think about it, that's actually pretty impressive. Are there going to be struts on this, you think?
Yes, there will be struts on this.
Outstanding. And then the other top is this, but cut into basically a fastback design.
That's correct. So we made a bunch of early architectural design decisions. So the structure that comes with the SUV kit is the same structure that comes with what we call the fastback kit.
Gotcha.
That enabled us to just change the topper, so to speak, rather than change a whole new platform.
So in other words, two separate toppers. This one here is the squared off one for the most, I would imagine, room inside. The other one follows this line right here where the roll bar is. It comes down like so.
That's exactly right.
All right, outstanding. So tires, I noticed, these are now BFGs. Is this another accessory that will come later?
Yeah, we're still going through the partnership discussions with the supply chain. Obviously, we wanted to showcase and meet people with what a lot of folks are running today, but as we form official partners and continue to build out now through launch, more to come on that.
Speaking of that, and thank you, Moto Man. This section here, now right now, I know this is a test mule, so it might be CCS or whatever in there, but I know that NACS is what you guys are aiming for in the very near future.
Why aim when you can do it?
This one's got to see the other one that we saw down there.
And it's in the right spot.
So the question is, will there be, as an accessory, an adapter to use CCS?
Absolutely.
All right.
Yeah, we really want to meet customers where they're at. So it's all about choice and flexibility. That's the easy way to do it.
Now, we're talking about a vehicle where this is where the power is going. 150 kilowatt rear end, DD on rear setup. And this puts out 201 horsepower. So the question is, would you guys have a kit later on in the future, perhaps to put axle on the front that's powered?
I can't spoil all the fun of
Okay, that's I have to ask because the guys are going to want to know. Right, so now you know I asked, okay? A couple other questions, lift kits, stuff like that?
2 inches up and looking at about 1.5 inches to 2 inches down too.
Wow.
We don't want to give the little trucks just a lift. We got to bring back a little bit of sport truck vibe.
Well, we are in California, so you got to be able to slam them too, right?
Yeah, you got to slam it.
Yeah, I totally get that. Let's talk about warranties.
Yeah.
All right, so what does this come with?
So right now, we haven't released the exact dates and specs on the warranty yet. But what we are doing is we're doing testing, we're doing validation, and we want to be able to back our products. So a lot of people ask me, what's the difference between aftermarket or accessory? Accessory for us is really, it's designed in-house, it's color mastered, it's tested, it's validated, and it's something we stand behind. So as you look at different categories, whether it's a hard good or utility product versus a soft good that's meant to change out a bit, we want to have a good industry-leading warranty, and we really want to be able to back what we do.
I got you. So in other words, to put it simply, the parts will be covered by your company. And even if you, the consumer, put them in, they're covered.
That's correct. So we are building what we call Slate University. Everything here is meant to be DIY. We don't want to force you to buy the accessory and then go buy service. We really want to make this easy and DIY friendly for people. Pre-threaded bolts. We've got side steps that can install with weld nuts in the rockers. It saves even the pro time. It gets you playing a lot faster that way. Similar to repairs, it's all DIY friendly, except for high voltage. But we do want to make sure that we provide the instruction videos, the how-tos, the help, the support to really give the power and the choice back to the customers.
It's fantastic. One of the most important things to show you guys is right here. That's right, manual windows. Crazy, right? Very, very simple setup inside of this vehicle. Overall, all of this, including, it comes with its very own Moto Man, so I'm going to hand you the camera.
Hello, people.
All right.
TFL.
In we go.
So, there is something you and I haven't discussed, and it's very important.
Okay.
Do you know what it is?
No.
It's under your tuchus right now.
Oh, the seating.
The seating can be changed. So the seat covers, they come a certain way, only one way, but you can buy seat covers, they zip off. Think about that.
Yeah, they zip off and then they could get a heated element and put the heated seats in this thing.
How cool is that?
That's just...
So let's say for the sake of discussion, you and Elise are having a hard time agreeing on color. You go, you know what, we'll get the tan seats for the first year, and then we'll go with the gray seats for the following 3 years.
Let's, you're absolutely right. Let's quickly show them the interior and how simple it is.
He's driving past me on that one.
I certainly am, especially when you bring up, yeah. So, right here, I don't know whether or not these little cool little things are going to be there. I think these are just fun little
this
extras.
is just the team at Slate put these in here.
Playing around.
And the idea is you can, like, dress up your interior.
Okay, so there is a padded dash here. Feels like it's like a leather-like
I think
material.
This is an accessory.
It might be an
Yeah, that's
accessory.
an accessory.
Steering wheel, very simple. You do have controls over here, and that is for cruise control. It looks like it's just the basic cruise control. That's it. Nothing underneath, nothing else. This feels like a four-way button. Basically, it just toggles in those directions. Standard turn signal stock. This is something that could easily pop out of any number of imports. I've seen several stocks similar to this. And then this, well, this is your gear lever. Once again, pretty simple. Drive down, reverse up, and then push to park. Simple. I don't want to start messing with buttons too much because this thing actually is a runner, so I can cruise over the crowd, which would be interesting. Okay, air conditioning controls. Look at this. Just basic, simple controls, rotary knobs.
Old school.
And they're covered in rubber, which I do like. Vents are up here. They're fairly thin. They look like they're out of the 80s. In fact, there's a lot of 80s vibe with this vehicle in terms of its overall design. I certainly feel a lot of like old Isuzu Pup or...
That is the second time this evening you've brought up that particular vehicle.
Because I love that little truck, and it's almost exactly the same size. It's like 174 inches. This is like 175
You bring up a very good point. So yes, it's 174 inches, but the wheelbase, so if we compare this against something that's somewhat close in price, the Maverick.
Okay.
This is a foot shorter in wheelbase and almost 2 feet shorter in length from a Maverick.
That's correct. Much smaller than a Maverick. This is much closer to like a Mini Cooper in terms of its overall. Probably similar to like a Countryman, I would imagine. Anyway, over here, this one does have power door locks, but as I mentioned, manual windows. I believe the mirrors might be manual. Oh my gosh.
The mirrors are indeed manual. They're talking about offering accessories.
Pardon me. Simple setup over here. Remember, this is pre-production, so there are some wonky pieces here and there. You also have a light here for the dome light. But then let's look over Moto Man's shoulder, because that's another thing you guys need to see. Okay, so now if that back seat and all that equipment wasn't there, there would be a window just behind this seat. And that's what they took off in order to turn this into a 5-seat SUV. And the seat that Moto Man is sitting on can be slid forward and tilted forward, and it looks very similar to many of the two-door SUVs from, once again, the 80s that I have a lot of
What's
experience
fascinating about the material, the color and trim in this vehicle, at $27,500, you'd expect this to be vinyl.
Yeah,
But this, actually, the tactile feel is pretty good.
it's like an offshoot. It's like a flexi vent denim, is what it reminds me of, and it feels like it's relatively strong. So
People don't know this about you, but you are a fan of the Nissan Kicks. I almost ended our friendship over this, and the material in this is nicer than a Nissan Kicks.
yeah, and for the entry level one, I would absolutely agree. Over here, I wanted to quickly show you. If you look up there, you should be able to. There it is. Yeah, you got it. That's a clip to hold the roof on. So the clips over there actually make this roof pop up pretty easily. The part that takes so long, it took them 45 minutes plus, was this roll bar that they put in over here because they had to mount it to the inside of the bed and then over here against the bulkhead. But the rest of this comes right off, and you can have open air driving pretty easily. With these examples that they have outside, you can clearly see that. One final thing, is there a glove compartment? You don't have to open it, but...
Let's see if there is. Nothing here.
I
No,
wouldn't
so
start
this
yet.
is all the accessory stuff.
Yeah, and there's no front bench seat, which I'm sure some of you are curious about. I don't know whether or not that'll be an option in the future.
Defender, that would be pretty cool.
Wouldn't that be really cool?
Yeah.
Or just going old school? Down here, there is a large tray or trough. I don't know if you could see it with the darkness.
Very tough to see.
But there is some cup holders here. It looks like they could hold, I don't quite know exactly how that works, but anyway, cup holder of some sort right here, and then a tray right here, probably for cell phone. And then this is the whole infotainment system right here. Everything is right there. So you could put a pad in there, one of your own, or you put your own phone here, control everything from there, keep it
Interesting
simple.
point of order.
Ah.
So the $27,500 price gives you the cradle for a mobile phone, but if one wants the cradle for a tablet, that's additional.
Okay, so
And this is the man that kind of helps you with that.
Howdy.
he is indeed, and in fact, there's an interview or two that you're going to be seeing with him in this video. All right, I think we've spent enough time in here, and people are about to light torches and start yelling, so we should probably leave. But I got to tell you, in terms of, by the way, Motoman and I are both over 6 feet. I probably have another 3 inches of headspace up here, and I've got gobs of leg room. I mean, it is very, very roomy despite its small size, so keep that in mind as well. Slate is slated to come out fourth quarter of 2026, so very soon. That is what they're expecting. Right now they have betas on the road, and production is starting very, very soon. So stay tuned for a lot more. I'll see you next time.